Today we're answering the age-old question, which tuning plugin is best? Autotune or Melodyne? Before we can answer that question, we have to talk about some of the fundamental differences between the two plugins. 90% of the time, Autotune is going to be used in auto mode, and although it has a graphical editor, it's just not where this plugin shines. The sound of Autotune comes from slapping it on a track and letting it work its magic. On the other hand, Melodyne is designed to be used manually. There's actually no other way to do it, no real-time processing at all. You have to load in your vocal, let it analyze the entire performance, and then you can start tuning. Once you're ready to tune, you have some macro options that will let you snap notes into place, but that's the most auto feature you're going to get. So the answer to which plugin is best depends entirely on what you're giving it and what you need to accomplish. Here's a few questions you can ask yourself when trying to decide which tool is best for the job. Are you going for an effect? Does it need to sound really natural? Do you need to do a lot of heavy lifting? Do you need the option to literally take a pencil tool and draw in the pitch curve? Are you trying to build a harmony? Are you working on lead vocals or background vocals? Alright, so let's answer these. If you're going for an effect, I feel like Autotune is the obvious answer. Pop it on, set it to the fastest retune speed, and you're good to go. To take it a step further, you can set it to the key of the song, and it'll be a bit more accurate. If you need something really natural, that's where Melodyne is going to shine. Since it's not processing in real time, it's able to analyze the entire note and shift it as a whole, maintaining the nuances and pitch drift across the note. Being that Autotune happens in real time, it's constantly tuning and reshaping the note. It does have a graphical editor, but between the two, the interface and editing options in Melodyne are much smoother sounding and easier to use. If you have to do a lot of heavy lifting, Melodyne is really the only way to go. Autotune works by snapping to the closest note, and in chromatic mode, that gives you about a half step of accuracy in either direction. So, if your singer's between 1 and 49% closer to the correct note, then Autotune will snap correctly. If they're 51% off key, it's going to snap incorrectly, bringing them even further out of tune. So in this case, Melodyne is your best bet because you can adjust the notes manually to make sure they're exactly where they're supposed to be. Now I know I gave the graphical editor in Autotune a hard time, and to be honest, a lot of that is just a weird color scheme that can be easily fixed in an upgrade. But one of my favorite features in Autotune is the pencil tool. With this tool, you can literally go in and draw the pitch to either make it do some really cool movement or lock it exactly in place. After you draw in the pitch curve, you can still adjust the retune speed of that line to make it a bit more natural. The ability to draw doesn't exist in Melodyne at all, and it's a feature I really wish they'd implement in a future version. If you're trying to build out harmony tracks, then Melodyne is your best friend. A lot of times I'll duplicate the lead vocal, tune in my harmony ideas, and if they sound cool, I'll keep them as final takes. Other times I'll tune them in as a reference for the vocalist to come in, learn, and replace. Leads versus backgrounds. So in a dense mix you may have tons of backgrounds and harmony tracks, and with those I'm usually going with Autotune, and I'll adjust the retune speed until it's working just enough but still keeping it natural. Lead vocals almost always go through Melodyne first since they'll be front and center in the mix. I can always run them through a little Autotune after if I'm going for that vibe, but now I know that they'll always snap to the correct note because I've gone in and tuned them manually first, which is a really cool trick. Melodyne them first, make sure they're snapped and locked into place to the right notes, and then you can use a little bit of Autotune after for a little bit of that vibe, a little bit of that sound. So these are just some suggestions on how I use these tools day to day, but they're not set in stone rules. If you only have Melodyne, it's entirely possible to achieve that sort of over-tuned pitch snapping effect that T-Pain made popular. And if you only have Autotune, you can take your time in the graphical editor and get a really natural sound. If you have the budget, I definitely recommend picking up both tools because as you can see, there's not a definitive answer to which is the better plugin. But hopefully I was able to point out some of the highlights of each one and help you decide which one might be best for you. If you found this video helpful, pop on over to the channel. I got a few others I think you might like, and it'd be really cool if you'd leave me a like and a subscribe. As always, if there's a topic you want to see covered in a future video, feel free to drop me a comment below, and I will see you in the next one.